Welcome to a beautiful sunny Sunday afternoon at Moon Field on the campus of University of Lynchburg, where it is day one and game one for the Lynchburg Hornets as they welcome in the pride of Greensboro College. I'm Joe Hutzler. I'll be joined by Sports Information Director Mark Robertson as well on today's call. And Mark, it's obviously chilly. It's February softball, but I don't know about you. I am feeling very blessed that we have some sun today.
Definitely some sun, Joe, and definitely some action here on Moon Field. It has been far too long since Lynchburg softball has been able to take the field here. Obviously, everybody knows what's going on with the pandemic and all the circumstances surrounding that and the cancellation of the 2020 season. So I know that both I and the team and all the fans here, families, faculty and staff, everybody who's able to be here is just over the moon, pun intended, 100%, to be able to take the field today and have some live competition.
Well, that's another big benefit to today is the fact that there are fans allowed to be here. There is an outdoor spectator policy here at Lynchburg. 250 students and families can show up to every outdoor event, and we've got a pretty decent crowd on hand today. Everyone's masked up, even though we're outside, just to double check and make sure all is well on that front. So looking forward to some great competition today. Mark brought up last year's short season, 16 games played. The final game for Lynchburg was on March 9th of 2020. That's the last time the Hornets took the field in a competitive NCAA event, and they're looking forward to starting the first of many games this season here in 2021. All right, each team being announced, so we will do our part to tell you who is starting in the field and in the lineups. And we are going to begin with the host school, the Greensboro College Pride, who are 0-2 on the young season after falling to Emory and Henry in their first two games of the year. And they will begin today with Kaylee Walker leading off, followed by Alexis Newman. Walker, by the way, in the second base position. Alexis Newman playing third and batting second. Caroline Stanley is batting third and is playing shortstop. Alexis Sox will be our designated player today. Cassie Simmons is playing right field and at the fifth position in the batting order. Batting sixth and playing catcher is Jordan Deaton. You also have Ivy Ray playing in left field, batting seventh. Batting eighth, Olivia Davidson. She will be starting at the first base. And we will have Cheyenne Cox finishing the lineup. She's our pitcher today for the Pride, as Allison Loy plays center field and is the flex player for Greensboro. In the field for the Hornets, you'll see Michelle Lehan in the pitching circle as the first starter of the season for the Hornets. You also will have her pitching to Olivia Herman at the catcher spot. Sophie Tully is playing first base today. Ashley Haley at second base. Addison Walter, see, I just did it, at third base. Kayla Hugate at shortstop. Gracie Dooley left field. Jordan Brown center field. And Lexi Powell is in right field. And I just asked Mark, how do you get Walter and Walker mixed up in your head? And for the first time that I've had to say it in 2021, I messed it up.
Well, Joe, I guess that's my fault. I'm sorry. I must have spoken it into existence. Of course, two of the standout freshmen for Lynchburg this year, one of them starting at third base today is Addison Walker. Then there's Addison Walter, excuse me, and then there's Madison Walker also. So that we get to have fun with that for the next 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
But luckily, they're both talented. Luckily for the Lynchburg coaching staff and us here who get to cover them. They're both talented, and we get to watch them play for 4 years as well. So
yes, indeed.
I promise to their families at some point I will get Addison and Madison straightened in my head.
Well, I have been doing this long enough that I'm not going to make that promise because I'm sure I will screw it up one or two more times, but hopefully not today. So after a couple more warm-up pitches, we are ready to go. Our first batter of 2021 here at Moon Field, Kaylee Walker for the Pride of Greensboro College. Michelle Lehan awaits the pitch call, likes it, delivers it, and it's a strike to start 2021.
And, Joe, that's going to be the key for Michelle all season. Michelle Lehan in the circle has great stuff, has had some issues with control over her career, and now as a senior, the coaching staff really expecting her to step up and throw strikes.
5 appearances last season, 0-2 record with 4 starts, had a 2.50 ERA, which was the lowest of the pitchers through 16 games a season ago. One complete game for her as well. But now she's got a pop up to center that is caught thanks to the hands of Jordan Brown. So 1 out on the board for the Hornets as the Pride try to bounce back after 2 disappointing losses to the Wasps of Emory and Henry College.
Joe, that's the kind of pitch that Michelle's going to have to stay away from. Said she needs to throw strikes, but leaving too many of those rise balls belt high. Going to see some balls get driven by the Pride today. Worth noting, Joe, that Greensboro did sweep Lynchburg last year down at their place. So Lynchburg looking for some revenge on that front, one of the games that we did get in 2020.
Alexis Newman at the plate for the Pride, and the second pitch misses for ball 2. Newman through 2 games has 8 at-bats, 1 hit, which was a double. So 125 average. Thought about it, held back, and takes strike number 1 of this at-bat. That one comes up high near the chin. First glimpse of adversity for Lehan in the circle today. 15 walks last season in those 5 appearances, the most on the team, and just kept that one above the ankles in the low part of the strike zone.
If that's going to be a strike today, Joe, both pitchers are going to want to live there.
Yes. And we're going to have to take out their sand wedge, too. Outside and high for a walk, and a runner now at first for the Pride. That'll bring up the third batter in the lineup, Caroline Stanley, playing shortstop today. Stanley calls Reidsville, North Carolina home of the greatest little hot dog place that I've ever been to.
That is kind of our spot, Joe. We've stopped there a couple times on the way down to different sporting events.
It's a shame I can't remember what it's called right now, but trust me, there's only one place with hot dogs in Reidsville, and it's definitely worth the experience. All right, runner at first. 1 out. Stanley at the plate. And runs into that one that is hit foul down the left field line. Through 2 games, Stanley, 7 at-bats, 1 hit.
One of the things you love about Division III softball, Joe, is almost always your best hitter hits third in the lineup. In this case, Greensboro's is a slap hitter.
Yeah. Well, it certainly presents some challenges. It helps when you got a runner at first. If she can get that into left field, stands the reason that they would have 2 runners on the bags.
Well, and the slap strategy here plays a part in multiple facets of the game. I mean, if you're running out of the box, it's much harder to ground into a double play.
Well, here's the 0-2 pitch after 2 foul balls. And I think she got a piece of that one. Runner goes to second in the meantime. So she kept herself alive and also helped move Newman to scoring position.
Yeah, it must not have been a foul tip. Off the catcher's glove instead, I guess, because they wouldn't have let the runner advance.
It did make an odd sound.
But it was a check swing, too, and I'm surprised that she didn't call it strike 3.
That one misses low for ball 2. Big spot for Lehan to battle back after having the 0-2 advantage. Two-two pitch on the way and just misses the outside corner. Herman held it, but it's a ball.
Big pitch here for Leanne.
Runner at second, as you can see, Full count. And slapped high. Area for Lynchburg maybe to get to it. No. Playing back just a little bit too far in that left field position was Dooley. And a runner now at first and third for the Pride.
Yeah, Gracie Dooley playing a little too far back there.
Did that first foul ball that went pretty far maybe force that hand to be playing so far back?
I don't know, because it did seem like she got a good break on the ball.
She did.
Again,
yeah.
we're down the right field line pretty far here, and seeing that ball in left field is not exactly something that I'm used to looking at from this angle. So it's hard to tell if Gracie might have taken the wrong angle there or what. But that ball was up in the air for quite a while, but kind of into no man's land. And what the slap definitely does, and the fact that you had a runner on second, is that the middle infield was pinched a little bit. So Kayla Hugate, the shortstop, didn't have a play on that. And it also pulls the third baseman in. So then Walter, the third baseman, would not have a play on that either. So it's kind of a no man's land hit. Well-placed ball by Stanley, I guess what you got to chalk it up to. And a great at bat.
So now first and third, first pitch that Alexis Sox sees goes out of play, glances off some trees and into the creek. Sox right now second on the team with a .500 batting average, 3 of 6 with 2 runs scored and a double and a home run to her credit as well.
At the launching pad that is Emery and Henry.
This one gets popped up to second, caught, throw back to first, not in time, but a big second out for Lynchburg's defense.
And almost a key base running error there by Stanley at first. Able to hustle back though. I don't know if that was a hit and run that was called or what, but she was way off the base, and it was pretty obviously a pop up to the infield.
All right, so 2 outs, runners at first and third, and a pitch that misses just for a ball. Cassie Simmons, playing right field today, is up to bat now for the Pride. Simmons so far 2 of 4 on the year with 2 doubles. Would love to pick up her first RBI. Hard shot, center field, carrying back. It's going to go off the wall and score 1, probably 2. Trying to chase it down is Jordan Brown. And speaking of RBIs, not just 1, but 2 for Cassie Simmons. And the Pride go up early.
Just another rise ball, center cut. Got too much of the plate, and Simmons put a great swing on it. Also took that hard carom off the center field fence, and Brown had to kind of chase that back toward the infield to run the loose softball down, and kind of allowed the second run to score. I don't think she would have scored if that had been played better off the wall. But a very unpredictable hop. Quite strange.
Ground a little bit harder than, say, April with the ice that has come through and the frigid temperatures. I got up this morning at 6:30. It was 16 degrees. And things starting to thaw out, so the playing surface will change throughout the day, I'm sure. But in the meantime, we're looking at Jordan Deaton playing catcher today and batting now, popping one up to center field. Brown with plenty of time to camp under that one. And so 2 runs come in for the Pride. The Hornets offense have some work to do. When we come back, you're watching NCAA Division III softball on LHSN. Welcome back to Moon Field here on the campus of University of Lynchburg. Joe Hutzler, Mark Robertson with you, and the Pride are in a good position after one inning of play for them, one half inning of play. They are leading 2-0 on 2 hits, and now it's the first time we'll see Lynchburg's offense in 2021, and we'll see someone that wasn't scheduled necessarily to be playing in 2021. Kayla Hugate, one of the eligible players to return after losing half a season last year due to COVID-19.
And somebody Coach Dawn Simmons and her staff are definitely glad to have back. Hugate, now a 5-year starter at the shortstop position. Looks at strike one there. And really, her leadership quality is going to be invaluable for this young team. Only 3 players in the lineup that were in the starting lineup on opening day last year for this Hornets lineup, Joe.
Next pitch also in there for a strike, and as he passed by, his dad said he's doing everything he can. Her dad said he's doing everything he can to get Kayla to come back for another year. He'd love to have another one for her and to come check out the Hornets on the weekends.
Of course, another NCAA eligibility waiver is coming for these athletes, so ostensibly a 6th year is within the rules should Kayla want to do it.
Right.
I know she has her eye on professional graduate programs that may not allow her time-wise to play softball anymore, but I'm sure that Coach Simmons and her staff will keep Kayla as long as Kayla's willing to play.
No doubt about that one, as she fouls the last 2 pitches off late on the first and early on this one. So it's still an 0-2 count here in the bottom of the first inning. Last season through 16 games, Hugate batting .298.
Yeah, 298 sounds pretty good, but she was pretty disappointed with her start to the season last year. Hugate well over 300 on their career.
Yeah, she had just 2 doubles, 2 RBIs. Here's the 1-2 pitch. She grounds this one to second, scooped up, thrown to first, and fundamental play made by Ashley Haley, and first out on the board. And that'll give us Addison Walter, who's playing third base today, wearing number 3 on her front and back of that uniform. And taking to the plate for the first time as a Hornet. And the first pitch she sees is low from the pitcher, who we haven't talked about yet, Cheyenne Cox, for the Pride. She's also in the batting lineup in the 9th spot today. 0-1 after one appearance against the Wasps of Emory and Henry, and fitting that one in for the first strike of the at-bat. Five errors in that appearance for Cox against E&H. Sorry, 5 runs. I read that wrong. ER is earned runs, Joe. I'll figure it out as we go. Yesterday was about ground balls and caused turnovers, so just give me a little bit.
Well, you got some ground balls here, too.
Fair enough. Fair enough. They don't get stats as much as GBs do at the lacrosse field, but either way, Walter in good position in the count, 3-1. Cox takes a peek over to the dugout, now delivers the pitch, and Walter rushes down to first and will be there safely in her first at bat as a Hornet.
Like to see the patience there early, see if Cox is going to be able to find the strike zone. Take as much as the opposing pitcher is willing to give you, Joe. Especially early in the season when it's cold, really not loose, the bat doesn't feel good in your hands, and it's not bad to get a couple free base runners and hope to make something happen with pressure on the defense that way.
Here's some experience for the Hornets. Olivia Herman batting third today, playing in the catcher spot as she's been accustomed to for a while. Actually played a bit of third, if I remember correctly, her freshman season in the infield.
A little bit of third, a little bit of corner outfield.
Mm-hmm.
With, of course, an all-region catcher in Brittany Coffey back there.
Right. There's a good reason for it. Well, she has done a good job of picking up where Coffey left off, as Walter left off the bag for the steal and gets caught on a beautiful throw that started at catcher with Jordan Deaton and finished with Haley making the tag. So the Pride have been impressive. Maybe those 2 games they didn't win, but they look like they're a team that have had 2 games under their belt so far.
And, of course, a quality opponent there in Emory and Henry, as we well know in the ODAC, team that's got NCAA tournament hopes.
And a good response from Cox to pitch that one in for the first strike of the at-bat.
Back to that caught stealing real quick, Joe. Kaylee Walker, the second baseman for Greensboro, did a fantastic job not reaching out for that tag. She let the ball come to her and applied the tag the right way. That's it's a common mistake you see with middle infielders.
Pop shot that cannot be held onto out in right field. It was Cassie Simmons who made a nice diving play but couldn't hold on. And Herman gets on safely at first with 2 outs.
There's the first hit of the season for the Lynchburg Hornets.
And that'll bring up Carly Cundiff, a designated player today for the Hornets. Carly, a sophomore hailing from Glade Hill, Virginia. Franklin County High School.
Have we had some luck with that high school recently, Joe?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, some pretty big historic names have come from there recently.
Most notably, of course, in the Lynchburg dugout
Still
right now.
around, yeah.
Chitwood.
And Olivia Herman will easily make her way to second after that wild pitch went high. You got to go pretty high, actually. If you look at Jordan Deaton, I don't know if it's on the sheet. It is, actually. So Deaton standing at 5'10".
Yeah, pretty big target back there.
Yeah, so you got to throw it pretty high to miss her. Hornets in scoring position. And a good job of holding off by Cundiff. And it's 2-1.
Cundiff, I know we've already talked about Addison Walter, one of 13 newcomers for Lynchburg this year. So a lot of new roster, but not without college softball experience. She played her freshman year at Roanoke College. Played some third base and some DP for them.
And once again, holds off, bringing that bat through.
Guess she decided she enjoyed wearing black and red after all. Franklin County High colors, too.
And I'm telling you, these unis they're wearing today, they are so sharp. One of the sharpest on campus out of any team, for sure. I don't blame her for that. And she let that one go. It hit on the inside, so it's a full count with a runner at second. Hornets trailing 2-0. Cundiff in her first at bat as a Hornet. And stays alive as that ball plays Plinko through the branches. Wow, really easy for me to say. That's what happens when I try to get creative when it's 30 degrees outside.
You know, Cundiff just 5'4", but a lot of power in that bat. She has a really good right-handed, powerful swing.
That first swing she made, you could tell. A lot of velocity coming through those hips. So if she can connect, there's a good chance she can at least move Herman over one. Won't have to worry about it, though. She gets free pass down to first base.
Great at bat there by Cundiff. And they're going to need her to be a force in the middle of this order. Again, I think we're going to talk about it all, at least the first part of the year, the inexperience in the Lynchburg lineup. And having somebody with college at-bats under her belt is really going to be big, and I think Carly's going to play a key role in this offense if Lynchburg has a good season.
Here's a left-hander. Not used to seeing more than one too often in the lineup, but Gracie Dooley is going to step up into that side of the batter's box, playing left field today. And her first at-bat of the season starts with a strike from Cheyenne Cox.
Dooley, a local product, Liberty High in Bedford. And another bat that Coach Simmons and her staff have high hopes for.
Good cut. Just behind it, though. And quickly an 0-2 hole with 2 outs and 2 runners on. And strike three swinging for Gracie Dooley, and that will do it for the first inning. The Pride have a 2-0 lead, looking like a team with 2 games in hand so far in the 2021 season, but a lot more to go. We'll be right back with the top of the second on LHSN. Here we go, 1 inning in the books from Moon Field on the campus of University of Lynchburg. And the Pride of Greensboro College have the advantage right now. And they've got the bottom of their lineup coming up: Ivy Ray, Olivia Davidson, and Cheyenne Cox in the 7, 8, and 9 position. It will be Michelle Leanne in the pitching circle. We'll see if she can help her defense battle back from a disappointing start.
Really just one pitch that was a mistake from Leanne. Unfortunately, got hit to the wall.
And because of the positioning in the field, Dooley may not have been able, in the right position to catch that blooper to the left either. So nothing serious. Certainly 2 runs is not something that, based on recent history, Lynchburg can't come back from. But to your point that we'll talk about, I'm sure, a lot, especially in this first game, a lot of youth for this Lynchburg team. So really good opportunity to see how they bounce back from adversity, as Ivy Ray looking to put her stamp on the game early. 2-0 score, 2-0 at bat, and foul tip into the glove. Well, no, I thought she got a piece of it. Either way, it's a strike for Ray. And that time it did fall into the hands of Herman after the swing and a miss. So first strikeout of the year for Leanne, and 1 out on the board.
That's what you want to see from your hard-throwing starter, too. I want to see her be able to come back from a 2-0 count there and be able to put a hitter away with 3 straight strikes. That's going to be big for Leanne.
That brings up Olivia Davidson, playing first base today, batting in the 8th position. Davidson with this will be her 5th at bat of the season. She's batting .500 so far with 1 RBI. And takes that one in the dirt for ball 1.
Joe, the scout on Greensboro's bottom half of the order must be that there's a little bit of pop, because all 3 of Lynchburg's outfielders are playing a little bit deeper than normal depth.
Foul tip on that pitch. It's a good observation, especially from our vantage point. We can see that. although the area they are trafficking is pretty well taken. The grass has been taken away a good bit, so already some action in the outfield for both teams. 2-2 pitch. That's fouled away. Watch out. Ooh. That lady almost ended her phone call early due to a softball injury.
It's a good battle here by Davidson, fighting off a couple pitches with 2 strikes now.
And a slow one that rolls in.
Didn't have to fight that one off.
Probably only knocked down about 4 or 5 pins in the lanes. That's how it would look for me anyway. Full count, 1 out, nobody on. Davidson waits for that, and it misses just on the outside. So it's another walk for Leanne, her second of the day.
So, Joe, just as Leanne did a great job coming back from a 2-0 count there, she was ahead and lost that hitter. So,
and that's to your point, what you mentioned about the inconsistency, trying to get her to a point where she can have back-to-back at-bats with consistency, and certainly making the appearances in the pitching circle will help her with that. And the Pride have reached the bottom of the order, and it's a pitcher versus pitcher battle. Cheyenne Cox making her debut from the plate, and Coach Simmons wants to talk things over with Herman and Leanne after a couple pitches that have missed pretty high in the strike zone.
Probably very similar, Joe, to what you and I were just talking about. Just tell Michelle, don't try to do too much. Just throw strikes. Let the defense work behind you.
It is a very talented defense. I know it's young, but it's got to be something where these pitchers feel pretty good about if there is contact made that they can get the job done.
Yeah, Joe, absolutely. And I know that there are a lot of interchangeable pieces that the coaching staff feels like, they can look at Lexi Powell in right field. I mean, she can catch. She can play pretty much anywhere on the diamond. Same with Ashley Haley, could slide over, play short or third. Hugate, you're probably not going to move off shortstop, but I'm confident she could play whatever.
Yes.
Probably get in there and pitch if you needed her to. And Sophie Tully is a good sure glove there at first too. So you're right, young defense, but a defense that feel like very capable athletes, not just position players.
And they've been waiting long enough to get some action, so wouldn't be too bad to see them go to work either. 2-0 count to Cox, and that one hits for strike 1. Third at bat of the season for Cheyenne Cox, the pitcher out of Burlington, North Carolina. Gets a piece of this one, high flyer to left field, easily camping under it, making the catch and putting the runner back at first base was Gracie Dooley. And the Hornets get 2 outs on the board as we go to the top of the order. Kaylee Walker, who flew out to center field in the first at bat of the game. Nice pitch from the outside of the box for Leanne. Another thing about 6 in black today, she's not out there if Coach Simmons doesn't have confidence in her, so she knows what she's capable of doing. As this one, I got a little nervous about that one.
Right, Joe, especially with the number of pitchers that Coach Simmons has on the roster. I mean, obviously you want to go with experience, give your seniors a chance to succeed. That kind of leadership is going to be big throughout the season. But, not like Lynchburg is low on options for people to throw out there in the circle. And as we saw in the fall with some of that, we've got some really talented young pitching talent as well. And then, of course, Kaylee Cox, who is an all-state pitcher and led the country.
Nice catch along the first base line. Heck of a play made by the right fielder, Lexi Powell. You just talked about her ability to play anywhere. Well, right now she's feeling pretty good about playing right field. Great catch, 3 outs on the board. Got some highlights already in the first game of the season. We head to the bottom of the second. It's still 2-0 Greensboro on LHSN.
first thing would definitely be make a plan and write it down. And, get with your classmates and put your brains together. One thing about a cohort style group, study group is perfect because when you put multiple brains together, you get a really good big brain. It gives us a great balance. It teaches us responsibility. It's never too easy, but we're put in a position where we're going to get better, we're going to learn, and we have to take time to get responsible and do the work. But we also have to learn how to manage our time with clinical rotations as well. But I think everything is well put together, as in the course load and as well as the clinical education. And when you put that together, you make great athletic trainers.
Where the defense left off after an excellent play made by Cassie Powell in right field. We'll see the center fielder for the first time at the plate, Jordan Brown, her first at bat of 2021.
Brown did quite well for Lynchburg in some limited action last season. And she's a very sure-gloved center fielder, can do a lot with speed, both in the field and on the base paths.
Rips through that one, but misses. And it's a 1-1 count for her. Jordan was our only softball post-game interview from last year. And she crushed it, by the way. And she fouls that one off for a 1-2 count. Last season, through 15 at-bats, Brown was batting .333. That's 1 RBI. Looking at a 1-2 count to start 2021. And a blooper to left. Hangs up long enough for Ivy Ray to camp underneath. And 1 out goes up on the big board. Sophie Tully stands in next for the Hornets, playing first base today. Tully, the sophomore from Moseley, Virginia. I think she got a piece of that somehow, or hit the catcher's glove.
I couldn't tell if it was the bat or the mitt, but
yeah.
Either way, strike one.
She really put her shoulder up there. So 0-1 count to Tully. .37 at bats last season. And deja vu on that pitch. Gets the catcher's mitt again. Rolls back to the backstop, and it's 0-2 count.
Sign of an effective rise ball when they get you twice in a row with it.
5 RBIs last season, third on the team in that area for Lynchburg through 16 games. And her first at bat continues in 2021. That one missing just low for ball one. One-two, makes contact.
Good job to fight that one away, Joe. One of those borderline pitches, probably can't do much with. Just try to get a bat on it and get something better to hit here. It's a good 2-strike approach.
Swings through, strike 3. Second strikeout of the day for Cheyenne Cox. And 2 outs on the board. And that gets us to the 8th batter in the lineup, Ashley Haley for the Hornets. Haley, a sophomore out of Glen Allen, Virginia, making her first appearance. And once again, a lot of mitt noise and deflections.
Ball must really be moving today. Eaton having trouble hanging on to some stuff.
Coming in hot. One-0 count for Ashley Haley. And still high. Tell you what, Deaton's going to have some good knees to get up and down, up and down. That's the part I hated when I caught in high school. Gosh.
We're not even tall, Joe.
Right, true.
She's standing there at 5'10". A lot of movement.
2-0, fouled away. So now Haley feels good about making some contact. And, in addition to all the other changes that come from COVID-19, it's not a normal fall ball. It's not a normal spring preseason. They haven't had a chance to play Liberty and Longwood and all these other schools that Lynchburg's had the opportunity to play with in years past, as that one's fouled off as well. So this is the first time seeing someone other than your own pitchers throw at you. It's got to be difficult.
That's true, and those timing adjustments are always tough. They always say that pitchers are ahead of hitters early in a softball season, and probably even more true this year than it has been in the past.
Reaches for the 2-2 and strikes out. Third one of the first game for Cheyenne Cox. 3 up and 3 down for the Hornets. They'll be on defense, and we'll start the top of the third when we come back on LHSN.
Through the whole application process, Dr. Bradney was really helpful about getting me through the process and everything like that, so it made it super easy to make a decision to come here to Lynchburg, and I've loved it ever since. Some of my favorite things are just how hands-on the classes are and just being able to do things with my classmates and ask my professors any questions and just go into clinicals and how hands-on it is there as well. They're always around, so it's not like they're strangers or anything like that, and they always just say that their office is open just to come by and even chat about life or anything else going on. It doesn't even have to be school related, so they're kind of just there as mentors and teachers as well, so it's kind of really nice to be able to work with them in that way rather than just as seeing them as teachers.
Top of the third inning here at Moon Field at University of Lynchburg. The Pride of Greensboro College hold a 2-0 advantage over the Hornets. Alexis Newman, who represents the first run scored today, is up to the plate now. She walked in her first at bat. Takes the first pitch low for a ball. She stole second and then was brought in later on thanks to that 2-run double from Cassie Simmons. It scored both her and the lady on deck, Caroline Stanley. Lehan paints the inside corner to come back with strike one of the at-bat. Watches that one in. Lehan on the outside that time, so hitting all the points so far. Trying to pull him into the box. And that one's low in the dirt. Ball 3. And for the second straight at bat for Newman, she takes the free ride down to first base. As mentioned, that'll bring Caroline Stanley to the plate. Had a single in the first inning and then scored on that Cassie Simmons double, and now sees a 1-0 count.
And that single, a product, Joe, of what we were talking about, her approach at the plate last time, slapping, now squares to bunt, which is going to move the defense around. See Walter in about a third of the way.
Lays down the bunt, back to Lehan, throw to first is good, but Stanley accomplishes her goal of putting Newman in scoring position.
1-4 on the sacrifice there. Good bunt defense from Lynchburg. Take the out you can get.
And we're going to get a pinch runner for the Pride. Number 23, Erica Edwards. 5'7" freshman out of Greensboro, North Carolina. Didn't have to go too far to go to class at the collegiate level. At the plate, it'll be Alexis Sox. Flew out to second base in her first at bat. She's the designated player today. First pitch misses for a ball. And good contact through shortstop into left field. It'll be picked up by Dooley. And we've got a first and third situation again for the Hornets defense with one out. And here's Cassie Simmons, who has the 2 RBI double. And we're going to get a change in the pitching circle. Michelle Lehan will exit. And looks like we're going to get
Farlow, I believe.
Yeah, number 21, Haley Farlow, freshman out of Stockton, Maryland. We'll see what she's got when we come back. 2-0 game for Greensboro. They're in the lead on LHSN. Anyway. All right, new pitcher for the Hornets, as we mentioned, as you saw while we took a break. Haley Farlow, freshman making her first appearance. More on her actual appearance after this first pitch. Raises up high. Herman throws down to third. The tag is there. Excellent fake to second. Got the runner sleeping a little bit, coming down the third base line, and Herman throws her out to keep the runner a bit further away from scoring.
It's a gutsy back pick throw there, Joe. That does not work 9 times out of 10. Great job by Walter to be ready for it, too, because sometimes when you see that pump fake, you let your foot off, and then all of a sudden that ball is going by you into left field and there's 2 runs in.
Pop up from Simmons high in the left field. And just like that, 2 outs for Haley Farlow. The defense answers to help her in her first appearance. And to keep it 2-0 heading to the bottom of the third on LHSN. Bottom of the third here on LHSN, and we're at the bottom of the lineup for the home team. Lexi Powell, who has made a great play on defense, trying to spark this offense for the Hornets. So far, just one hit to their credit. And swings through and makes contact, but will be a foul ball for the Benton, Virginia native.
Had good luck with the Powell family, too, here.
Yeah.
Lexi, of course, the third sister to play.
Good contact is short. Misplayed. Brought back and gets there in time. Briefly, Powell was feeling good about her chances to get there in time after Stanley hesitated, but a good throw and one out. Top of the order, Kayla Hugate grounded out to second and her first at bat. Lays down the bunt and it rolls foul. Hornets desperate to put somebody on base.
Good thought by Hugate there. Usually the third baseman plays in about, well, where she is now. Maybe a quarter or a third of the way down the line. She was back almost even with the bag there.
Everyone takes a peek to the dugout, gets the play call, if you will, looks at their wrists, and then Hugate sends a shot into left center. It will land fair, and Hugate will head to second base.
Exactly what you need from your fifth-year senior leader there. Got to wonder if the bunt was just a decoy, right? To bring the outfield in.
It looks really good right now, for sure. So a runner in scoring position for the Hornets. First time since the first inning. Olivia Herman stood there, but she didn't make it any further. So now Addison Walter will do what she can to change that early trend. Cut the lead in half. Good contact, but it sails out into Lakeside Drive.
Have your head on a swivel when you're driving by here during games, huh?
So glad I'm working the game and not just driving around during the game.
I don't know, Joe. A pretty deep foul shot down the right field line here. Your windshield might be in.
That's true. That's true. Walter swings through, and it's strike two of this at bat. She walked in her first appearance, then was thrown out on a steal attempt to second. Has a friendly at second now, and trying to move Hugate over. At least one, maybe two. And it'll still stay at second. That foul tip right into the hands, into the glove of Deaton. And
now
for
hands, that would be real impressive.
That would be extremely impressive. So 2 outs, and the 2 most experienced batters in the lineup are on the field at the same time. Herman at the plate, Hugate at second base. And Herman will foul that one up and away.
Like the aggressiveness, 2 outs. You got a runner in scoring position.
Herman with a single in the first inning. Reached second on a wild pitch. The 0-1. A flopper to short. Scooped up and thrown. Well done fundamentally by the Pride. And they survive the first pressure put on by the Hornets this afternoon. That'll end the third inning. When we come back, I'll be joined by the president of the University of Lynchburg, Allison Morrison Shetler. Don't go anywhere. Right back after this on LHSN. Welcome back to Moon Field at the University of Lynchburg. It's a 2-0 game in favor of the pride of Greensboro College, and I'm joined now by the president of this fine institution, Dr. Allison Morrison Shetler. It's been such a long time since we talked to one another. I don't know if we'll be able to come up with anything, but I've got a few things on my list as Farlow pitches one that's high. First and foremost, what's this like? This is another new sport for you. I know lacrosse was.
Yeah, a little bit more knowledge about softball than I had about lacrosse, but it's good that I've got my husband right next to me, coaching me, since he's more knowledgeable. But it's good to see the students out. It's good to see the fans out, and just absolutely delighted that we're playing.
Yes, 100%, and one out on the board for the Hornets. Let's not waste any time. Let's get into a pretty big initiative for athletics, and especially for this area that we are at right now, this venue of Moon Field, and talking about Five for the Hive and how it not only affects this area but really would affect the whole campus with the donations and the progress that's being made. What are some things you want to make sure we talk about related to that today?
Well, particularly affiliated with softball, I mean, our facilities need to be very much upgraded to be commensurate with the quality of the program that we have here in softball. So to be able to take this area and really make it something spectacular, particularly since it's the front door of the institution, apart from anything else. But we need about $400,000 to get dugouts lowered, and to get a nice seating area and get a space where we can have a better press facility. So I'm excited about it. I think it will really shape the front door of the institution and make sure that we've got the kind of facilities that our students deserve.
Now, the best way for people to do that, we've actually made it pretty easy, right, as far as logging onto a website and making one click?
Yes, indeed. We are very much in line with getting people to see the importance of donating to the university, the impact that it makes on our students. You can go straight to the website. It is fairly easy to go on and say, okay, I want to support softball. Here's what you need to do. And so we're looking to make sure that folks see that they can see themselves in everything that we're doing for Five for the Hive. And as you mentioned, it's not just this facility. There's 4 other facilities that we want to be really making much better for our students. And one of the first things, of course, we want to see is the scoreboard at Schellenberger Field.
That's right.
I'm very excited about that because we can use that for an awful lot of different things, not just the sports on Schellenberger, but actually create opportunities for speakers to come in, to have graduation streamed, all sorts of different things. So tennis is the other area that we're looking at, which of course we need to update our tennis courts. Making sure that we've got some good seating and turner. I really would like to see that a much nicer facility, and so on. But we want to make it easy. We want people to find their passion. We want people to be able to see that this is an important thing to donate to the university.
And extremely important to recognize the level of competition, matching the venue that they're playing in. And related to this softball team, not that long ago, we were hosting regionals here in this area, super regionals as well. And, to have teams that are consistently that successful, it's always best if we can give them top-level venue as well. So lynchburg.edu/give is an easy shortcut for you to find the area in which you can read about and pick the tab of what you want to donate toward. And Five for the Hive, it's pretty self-explanatory, 5 venues to help out the Hive as a whole. And you mentioned Schellenberger Field and that video board. I thought about it yesterday. What a great venue for like a spring night to just have some blankets out on Schellenberger, watch some movies, hang out. So these things will benefit the entire institution for sure. Just real quick, looking at the scoreboard right now, it's a 2-1 count with 2 outs for the pride of Greensboro College as the Hornets try to keep it 2-0, and this one gets fouled away. Before we let you go, before we end the half inning here coming up soon, I wonder if you ever give yourself a chance to really step back and understand the impact that's being made. We work so hard on Lakeside Drive, and we don't always look out to other institutions and realize how good we're doing, how good necessarily we have it here. Do you ever give yourself a chance to realize that at any point in time with your busy schedule?
Well, sure. Obviously, I talk with a lot of the other presidents of other institutions, look to see what the community is involved in. I'm really pleased that a lot of community members come to our games, for example. But I'm also looking to see what other facilities look like and to make sure that we provide the same quality of facility for our students. So out there looking, yes, making sure that we are doing what we need to do to support and have our community part of the campus is really important to me. And days like today, and even though it's a little chilly, it's not as chilly as it was yesterday. It's good to see so many people out celebrating and supporting the students.
Yes, and we do have a little bit of warmth as well. The sun's helped us out also. Right. Well, as always, thank you so much for giving us some of your time and updating us on some things. Again, lynchburg.edu/give, 5 for the Hive. Help us make this not just a better institution, but a greater place for the entire Hornet Hive to enjoy. So that's the end of the top of the fourth. Back with the bottom after this. Welcome back. A shot up to the center and into center field. Here to start the bottom of the fourth. Great work by Carly Cundiff. Her first hit of her season and of her career with the Hornets.
Carly yet to record an out as a Lynchburg Hornet. Walked her first time up. Probably jinxed her to a slump now. But
you said it, not me.
Yep.
Can't be put on me. Usually they're my fault, so I'll gladly let you take it.
Watching, I apologize profusely. We have a pinch runner here. Looks like, is it Leah Caldwell? Yes, it is. Another of our new faces.
Freshman from Pamplin, Virginia.
One of the things that terrifies me about the prospect of ever having to coach softball is remembering to re-enter the designated player after you pinch run for her. So,
I feel like Coach Simmons would probably remember that.
She's been doing this a while.
Yeah.
And Coach Simmons, the queen of calling out lineup cafes on the other team at the opportune time. Sometimes she'll wait until that spot in the order comes up in a big spot in the game instead of pointing it out right away.
Bunt attempt that's popped up for Gracie Dooley. Struck out in her first at bat.
Strategy here, obviously, willing to give up an out for a runner at second base. Best case scenario, of course, the defense can't handle it.
And trying to swing through that one on the run was Dooley, and she's in an 0-2 hole.
Of course, Joe, the first time when you squared a bunt, you draw the defense in, and then if you're able to slap, hit something hard up the middle. And
it's the right strategy, just not executed. And Dooley goes down swinging again.
Yeah, if it works, it looks great. If not, it's a little bit ugly. But
Jordan Brown's turn to do some damage, she hopes. Flew out to left field. And her only at bat so far back in the second inning. She's been a little bit busy at center field today. Trying to channel that here in game 1 of 2. Second game slated to start at 2 p.m. And game 1 of 3 games against the pride of Greensboro College as a university and a college, as that ball has popped up and caught by the second baseman, Kaylee Walker. Ugh. What's up with Walter and Walker today? Dang it.
We really are professionals.
I'm some would say it depends on your definition of professional. But, yes, we are. That other game I mentioned against Greensboro, of course, is baseball. They're in their second day of taking on Greensboro and third game of the weekend for them. And also want to take a quick look at women's soccer, who began their season today. We have fall sports in the springtime, more traditional time to play soccer in Virginia for high school players. And taking a quick look, 12:57 left in the first half. Lynchburg dominating E&H, but no score yet. They do have 3 shots on goal, 17 total shots. But the keepers for the Wasps have made 3 stops, and it's still scoreless down in the hills. Sophie Tully now looking at a 2-1 count with 2 outs and that pinch runner over at first, Leah Caldwell. Hornets offense has been getting better each half inning. Or each inning, I should say, for their offense. But just not able to string together multiple good at-bats. And now a 2-2 count with 2 outs. Tully in a tough position trying to keep this inning going.
Yeah, Joe, base runners in 3 of 4 times to bat so far, but nothing to show for it on the scoreboard yet.
And that won't help. Tully down swinging for the second time and on her day. And Cheyenne Cox pitching a good one in the circle. We still got a good one. Only 2-0. Head to the top of the 5th. You're watching NCAA Division III softball on LHSN.
First thing would definitely be make a plan and write it down. And, get with your classmates and put your brains together. One thing about a cohort style group, study group is perfect because we put multiple brains together, you get a really good big brain. It gives us a great balance. It teaches us responsibility. It's never too easy, but we're put in a position where we're going to get better, we're going to learn, and we have to take time to get responsible and do the work. But we also have to learn how to manage our time with clinical rotations as well. But I think everything is well put together, as in the course load and as well as the clinical education. And when you put that together, you make great athletic trainers.
Top of the 5th, top of the order for the Pride. Farlow still in the circle for the Hornets. And she's looking at Kaylee Walker, who is 0 for 2 so far today. Flew out to center, flew out to right. That was a beautiful play made in right field, by the way. Lexi Powell.
Certainly the highlight of her young career.
Yeah, first day, game 1.
Confidence is important.
Based on my director's reaction, I think we got it as well. So even better. And a nice pitch from Farlow to give herself the advantage. 1-2.
The way the dugout reacted, I thought that was strike 3. Was a well-executed changeup. Maybe a bit of an overreaction there.
Speaking of the dugout, they have to look out. I don't think Walker enjoyed their applause in the last pitch. That one headed right to the fence.
There's a weird satisfaction as a hitter of sending a line drive right at the screen and making some people flinch.
Walker shows bunt, then cranks one this way. It will land down the hill. Of course, you've probably seen a few shots of those dugouts. Imagine how slick it would be to have them in the ground. That is the point of 5 for the Hive, as this one's poked to left field and at least stopped, but not able to be caught. by Dooley, and it would be a double for Walker, her first hit of the day.
Another good piece of hitting there by a Greensboro hitter. Going the other way with that with 2 strikes.
Four hits on the board for the Pride. Five, yes, okay. I looked down at my sheet, said 5, the board said 4. Now the board says 5. So we're all in good shape here. On the stat side.
Nobody in midseason form quite yet.
Not quite yet. The Pride look pretty close to it. They're doing pretty well so far. Alexis Newman at the plate now. That one up on the wrist will count for ball 1. Newman has walked in both of her appearances. Another good pitch from Farlow. The heat's coming in pretty well for 21 in black. Walker at second. Nobody out. And that one paints the inside corner. Farlow in control. But it's a 2-2 count. And now it's full. Got Stanley on deck.
If you're Newman here, you're really just looking to get something in play, preferably on the ground to the right side, move that runner over.
And it's coming this way, but it'll be foul.
Right idea, though, as a hitter. If you're going to have to fight something off, just try to get it over there and give your base runner a chance to move up 60 feet. A lot easier to score from third than it is from second.
Yes, that's always been true in this sport. Full count pitch. And off the ankle. Newman walks away like it's nothing. Just took it like a champ.
Yeah, that doesn't ever feel good. I don't care if it's just a glancing blow.
Yeah, I know it's called a softball, but it's not soft. I don't know why it's called a softball, but either way, that changeup didn't quite fool Newman as it dropped into the dirt. And so Newman still hasn't reached base on anything but a walk, but she'll be glad to be there no matter what. Now 2 runners on and nobody out for the freshman in the circle. And Caroline Stanley will step up to the plate. Sack bunt in her last at bat. Had a single in her first. And this one is blooped to left. It will land right in front of the Hugh Gates. Foul territory. Also right in front of our camera. One of our two-sport athletes working the camera in left field today, Nono Nolan, who puts in time in the swimming pool and on the links of the golf course. And putting in work as a sports broadcasting class member, sports media minor, here with LHSN.
It's a really cool new minor that the university has added, Joe.
Swing and a miss for strike one. Yes, indeed, we've done a lot of work, as people are aware, getting this high-quality broadcast stuff going, and it's only fair that we give students even more ways of earning credit by working with us, as that pitch is hit up high and out of play, so it's still an 0-2 count. And about 4 years ago, we added the sports broadcasting class in the sports management department. And then this fall, started the sports media minor between the communications department and the sports management department. And a line drive shot to center and misplayed by Brown, but runners will not go home. Still not a great situation. Bases loaded, nobody out. And your cleanup batter stepping up to the plate.
Probably the smart move there by Walker rounding third to hold up. Just such a hard hit ball that it got to Brown, and even though she didn't catch it cleanly, it would have been a relatively easy throw home to.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely, especially with the arm strength of Brown. So, conversation being had by the infielders to discuss the bases loaded situation. Alexis Sox, who is 1 of 2 and your designated player, stepping up, coming into today's contests. Sox was second on the team, batting .500, had 3 of the team's 6 RBIs on the young season.
Yeah, if you're Greensboro, she's probably who you want at the plate in this situation.
Mm-hmm. And so now both teams will have what this sport calls a timeout as they all huddle up together and chat about the current situation. It's not a great one to be in if you're a freshman, but it's important to have these conversations so everybody's on the same page.
And it's going to be a learning experience for Haley Farlow to see how she responds to this, and you know, you just got to take it one at bat at a time and try to get 3 outs in a row here. If a couple runs come by, well, that's just because Greensboro executed the way that they should. Be catastrophic for Greensboro not to cash in at least 1 or 2 runs on this.
First pitch after that little break is the one that Farlow needed. 0-1 count. And that one knocked down. Down throw home is there for the tag. And a great job by the defense. Nice job by Hugate backing up her third baseman, Addison Walter, to make sure that that one got in.
Great job by Walter to get a glove on that. See her adjusting her webbing now. But and great reaction by Hugate to know where she was going with the ball once she picked it up, too. 5'6" fielder's choice, you know, just your routine. 5'6".
Now we've got
5'6".
Cassie Simmons stepping in and taking the first pitch up high. Simmons was a part of an odd sequence back in the 3rd inning when she flew out to left field, but there was a throw from home plate to third that was a throw out as this ball is heading toward the wall but not out. Brown will pick it up. 2 runs will come in for the Pride. And Cassie Simmons having herself a 4 RBI afternoon so far.
Another ball that just caught a little too much of the plate, and Simmons put a great swing on it. Only gets a single out of it, though. The runner on first seemed to have held up, and wasn't sure if that ball was going to be caught, I guess. A little base running miscue there. But if you're Greensboro, you'll certainly take it and take the 4-0 lead that comes with it. Another pitching change for Lynchburg brewing now, Joe. Looks like Kaylee Cox.
Yeah, Kaylee Cox is going to step in to pitch for Lynchburg. And we've got a pinch runner for Greensboro. Allison Loy is out at second base. A senior from Haw River, North Carolina. Wouldn't mind being from a place called Haw River. Sounds relaxing. But we're going to keep it here and just try to talk about what can be done, what should be done, and now you're putting the most experience you have inside the circle, down 4-0. Obviously, it's a tough spot for this defense to be in, but you got to hope the bats start waking up at some point, too, for the Hornets.
Yeah, and Cox, you know, curveball, screwball, change-up pitcher, likes to keep the ball down. When she's effective, that's what she's doing, and keeping hitters off balance by throwing that change-up in there. But I think you're right, Joe. The most telling thing here is Kaylee's experience. She's been in these situations, coming in tough relief situations with people on base. Led the country in saves 2 years ago for a reason, right?
Right.
So definitely who you want in the circle
Had
if
the
she can
only
get a couple
save
outs and get out of
last
it.
year as well, by the way, in
Correct.
those 16 games. So she is a good specialist in that department. Pitched the second most innings last season, and her first pitch is in the dirt, and that'll move the runners to third and second base. Cox was 2-1 through 9 appearances, 1 start, and that save, a 3.87 ERA, worst on the team through the 5 pitchers in 16 total games for the Hornets. And a rough start out of the dugout. A 2-0
gotta find the
hole.
strike zone here.
Jordan Deaton at the plate for the Pride. 0 for 2 afternoon for the catcher, and that ball gets away. Here's a play at the plate. Sliding into the throwback was Allison Loy, and she slides in safely for run number 5. Whoops. And a 3-1 count now for Cox, and a runner at third. Pride trying to bring everyone in and put a stranglehold on this lead as we are over halfway in game number 1 of 2. This one fouled up, and Hugate does what she can. Great effort by the 5th year.
And not much more you can do on that one, Joe. A little bit of mud stuck in the belt, looks like.
Well,
that's when you know you played hard.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, that's a play that is made by an experienced person who knows the importance of showing that she's still fighting, so we need to keep fighting as a young team too.
Right. Especially getting hit in the mouth here late in game 1. You know, there's still another 9 innings of softball on the docket, so can't circle the wagons quite yet.
Dunton, yep.
And Joe lost his headset there, but he did make the play on the 1-hop. Hard line drive foul. Nicely done. No applause from anybody, and that's really the shame of the whole thing, because that pretty good play there by Joe Hutzler.
Yeah.
All right, Joe?
Man, yeah, I'm good. It was bound to happen. It was bound to happen all these years out here.
Well, you waited a long time for your time to shine.
Uh-huh.
And you made the most of it.
I appreciate that. Thanks for the play-by-play of my play. Switch roles there for a second. And Cox comes right back, and she'll put Jordan Deaton on the base path with a walk.
Double play in order now for Lynchburg, but, well, they're not going to go for it. Looks like Coach Simmons pulling the infield in. Oh, never mind. We got a lineup change. Looks like they're going to run for Deaton.
You're going to run for Deaton, yeah. So Deaton steps out, and stepping in is number 14 for the Pride. That is Taya Maloney, a freshman from Clayton, North Carolina. Last time the Pride made a pinch run situation happen, they brought that runner home. See what Ivy Ray can do in her 3rd at-bat of the day. First pitch she's seen from Kaylee Cox, and it's a ball that misses high. Runners at 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Ivy Ray with a strikeout and a single today. Herman does a great job of keeping that ball in front, not allowing for potential play at home to be made. We saw Allison Loy come home on a wild pitch earlier. Ray leaned into it but laid off of it, and it's a 3-0 count.
Cox needs to find the strike zone here.
And there she does. Needed that one for sure. We'll see if Ray goes for anything close or makes Cox put it right there in the middle. And just let it come through, and Cox answers with strike 2.
Got to finish the battle here, though. Can't wind up walking this hitter. If you're Ray, any way on base is a good way. Just keep the pressure on the defense.
Makes contact, pops it up to left field. Sliding in, but missing the catch was Dooley, and a run will score. That ball just got under the glove hand of number 8 in left field. And the Pride continue to have an excellent 4th inning.
Yeah, just a great job by Ray to put a bat on that and hit them where they ain't, right? That's what they always say.
It's a pretty good strategy. It's worked for a long time. And now Greensboro with runners at first and second. And Olivia Davidson, first baseman for the Pride, stepping in and trying to continue the hitting trend for Greensboro. Kaylee Cox, for the first time in 3 batters faced, gets ahead with the first pitch.
Greensboro, extra base hit away from turning this into a real big inning.
Foul tip kept here at the plate, so 0-2 hole for Davidson. Could be a big spot if the defense can turn it into a double play and try to stop the bleeding here in the 5th inning. Oh, 2 delivery, misses outside, trying to get Davidson reaching. Olivia Davidson, a walk in the 2nd, grounded out to short in the 4th. Already back here to the plate in the 5th. And this one will go up high in the infield, waved off, and just caught behind the head of the pinch runner at second of Maloney. Good concentration from Ashley Haley. Hold on to that.
Of course, I didn't see if the umpire signaled it, Joe, but the infield fly rule should have been in effect there. So batter runner was out anyway.
And 2 outs are on the board for the Hornets. Could this be 3? Scooped up by Hugate? Yes, it will be.
2 good change-ups for Cox there to end the inning, finally getting the handle on that pitch. So that's good. That's what you want to see from Kaylee.
4 runs on 4 hits. Not too bad for the Pride. They lead it 6-0. Headed to the bottom of the 5th on LHSN.
First thing would definitely be make a plan and write it down. And, get with your classmates and put your brains together. One thing about a cohort style group, study group is perfect because when you put multiple brains together, you get a really good big brain. It gives us a great balance. It teaches us responsibility. It's never too easy, but we're put in a position where we're going to get better, we're going to learn, and we have to take time to get responsible and do the work. But we also have to learn how to manage our time with clinical rotations as well. But I think everything is well put together, as in the course load and as well as the clinical education. And when you put that together, you make great athletic trainers.
Bottom of the fifth here at Moon Field. Joe Hutzler and Mark Robertson narrating this journey with you today, and it has been one that so far the Hornets have wished they didn't get in the car for. 6-0 is the score after a 4-run fifth for the Pride on offense. Lynchburg trying to respond with a little bit of offense of their own as we are down in the 8th spot in the lineup. Ashley Haley coming up to the plate for just the second time today. Struck out in her first at bat in the second inning. Cheyenne Cox still in the pitching circle, of course. She has done a great job of pitching a shutout. Has given up 3 hits and tallied 6 strikeouts today.
Yeah, no sign of slowing down for Cox in the circle either. She's been sharp all day so far.
Yeah, everything to this point working well for her. Hornets have not been able to find an answer. And once again, sending that one hot through the middle. And Haley just a bit behind. Got a piece of that one. And this being only a piece of the action today. We talked about baseball playing later today, 2 o'clock against Greensboro. Our next game here is slated for 2 o'clock. Men's basketball playing Randolph right now down the street at Rivermont Avenue. And it's halftime for women's soccer against Emory and Henry. Still scoreless in that one. And here is another strikeout for Cox as Haley goes down swinging for the second time today. And we hit to the bottom of the order in Lexi Powell.
7 strikeouts now for Cox, most of them coming from the rise ball at high chase.
Lexi Powell grounded out to short in her first at bat. And this blooper will be caught at third base. Alexis Newman ready for that one.
It's one of those, Joe, that you jump up real hot and then you realize it's not hit all that hard and you have to kind of make an adjustment. It was a nice job by Newman to do that. And it's a pretty easy one to foul up.
Up to the top of the order, Kayla Hugate. Grounded to second in her first at bat. Had a double in her second at bat, back in the third, and takes the first pitch for strike 1. Hugate would love to spark an offensive push here. Shows bunt, misses, but quickly in a hole 0-2 with 2 outs.
Cox wasting no time, sensing that this shutdown inning here make the lead all that more secure.
O2 pitch delivered and swung through for strike 3. How about that? Half inning for Cheyenne Cox. She continues to deliver, and the Pride continue to lead. 6-0 after 5 on LHSN. Can the Pride continue to add to their lead, or will Lynchburg's defense hold them to 6? That's what we're going to find out at the top of the 6th, as we are to the top of the order for the Pride. Kaylee Walker. And the first pitch from Cox is good for a strike. You talked about it when we finished the last half inning for Lynchburg. You could tell she was finally starting to get her pitches working.
Yeah, those last 2 outs both recorded on the changeup, which is, of course, Kaylee's out pitch. Seen a lot of that over the last 3 years, and so that's what you want to see. And strikes. Lynchburg pitching cannot afford to walk any more Greensboro hitters. There's the changeup there in for a strike, Joe.
Works well for a 1-2 count.
Walker, of course, doubled to lead off last inning. Sparked the big 4-run rally.
You mentioned the walks for Lynchburg's pitching staff, as that one gets knocked down by Cox. Barehanded pickup from Hugate, but way too much speed from Walker. So she'll reach safely at first. I was making a point about the walks. We talked about the 8 strikeouts for Cheyenne Cox for Greensboro. Lynchburg's pitching staff has given up 5 walks. So not a good sign from that perspective. And now their defense will have to go back to work again, as this one's popped up and out of play behind the Lynchburg dugout for Alexis Newman. Speaking of walks, she walked in her last at bat.
And of course, 2 of those 5 walks, Joe, have come around to score.
Mm-hmm.
Also helps to get the leadoff batter aboard, and Greensboro has managed to do that.
Nice bunt laid down. Herman clears room to make the throw to get the out, but Walker is safe at second.
Smart, conservative small ball from Greensboro here. If you can add to the lead here, that's great.
Up next for the Pride, Caroline Stanley, the second of 4 runs scored in the last inning in the 5th. And Herman kept that in front, but not able to make the throw to third. Walker's got a set of wheels on her, making it really tough for those hesitation throws to get there in time.
Good job by Walker to see that ball in the dirt. Started moving before it even.
Cox answers back with a strike. So it's 1-1 with 1 out and 1 runner on, but that runner is just 60 feet away from making this a 7-0 game. Stanley, nice charge right back where it came from. That will score 1. And Stanley will continue a great day for the Pride at the plate.
Yeah, 2 for 2 now for the number 3 hitter. Sorry, 3 for 3, excuse me, with a sac bunt in the other one. She scored a pair of runs as well.
And Coach Simmons is going to walk out, talk to the umpire about the lineup. I don't see. And maybe we are getting another pitcher. Yeah, it looks like we are going to maybe get Sperandeo, who pitched last season. She's standing over by the water coolers and getting some fist bumps from her teammates, and that's what we got. Number 20 for the Hornets will become the 4th pitcher for Coach Simmons to try out today in the first game of the season. And she'll step in with a 7-0 lead for the opponents. Gives us a chance to look at the other Hornets teams. We talked about women's soccer at halftime, still scoreless against Emory and Henry. Lynchburg men's basketball down by 4 to Randolph down the street on Rivermont Avenue. That's also at halftime. And baseball, oh, well, I forgot. It's at Randolph, so the live stats don't work on the composition schedule. So it's 72-67 with 3:22 to go. Randolph in the lead. That's why I got you here, Mark. Appreciate your help.
Information's in the job title.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Not in mine, obviously. Well, tough situation for a young pitcher to be in, but it'd be a tough spot for anybody, no matter your experience level. Down 7, coming into the 6th inning with 1 out and a runner at first. And Alexis Sox, a designated player, steps in for the Pride. And the first pitch delivered is good for a strike.
And I'm sure that was the message from Coach Simmons as she handed Angela the ball. Get in there and throw strikes. Be aggressive.
That one is sent to Hugate. Maybe a double here. Hugate's throw, not in time. It was awfully close. But at least the Hornets get the lead runner out.
Boy, I think Greensboro got a gift of a call there, Joe.
Yes.
I do think that's the right play, though, by Kayla Hugate. The play bringing you toward the bag anyway, just had to take one extra step to step on it rather than flipping it to Haley. You got to get that one sure out.
This will not be an out, and it is picked up by Powell on the hop. Did a great job of keeping it in front. But Cassie Simmons continues to have an excellent day at the plate with yet another hit that moves the runner into scoring position.
Yeah, 3 for 4 day now for Simmons. It looks like she's going to come out for pinch runner. She is scalding the softball.
I like that term, scalding the softball. I like that. I might have to steal it.
Feel free. $5 a time. How about that?
Simmons, another North Carolina native. Everyone on the roster except for 2 Pride players are from North Carolina. She hails from Gibsonville.
Another North Carolinian, Hannah French, is the pinch runner.
Another Reedsville native, too, so she knows all about great hot dogs.
As every regional native should.
We just assume that everyone knows about that spot. We can't talk about them anymore, though, because we don't want to give away too much free advertising. But they're welcome to sponsor our softball games. That one just a bit high in the zone. So 1-1 count with 2 outs. Runners at first and second. Hornets trying to keep the damage to a minimum. And Deaton gets one past a diving second base. Powell with a good throw at home to keep the runner at third. But once again, for the second straight inning, the Hornets defense faces a full bases situation.
Of course, Joe, here is a much less threatening situation
Yes.
with 2 down rather than the nobody out on the bases juice scenario last time. It looks like we will have another lineup change here for
Deaton was a pinch run before, so probably have another one. Oh, no, they're going to change it up at the plate.
pinch hitter.
Hannah King, sophomore from Dillsboro, North Carolina, will take to swinging the bat for the second time this season. She's made 1 previous appearance and struck out against Emory and Henry.
King pinch hitting for Ivy Ray, the left fielder. Ray was 2 for 3 with an RBI last time up.
That pitch misses high. Again, bases are loaded, and there are 2 outs. So everywhere is open. terms of a forced play. Take your pick, whichever bag's closest to you. Herman, great job of keeping it in front. You know, if you have to have your most experienced players in the field, it's pretty good they're at shortstop and catcher.
It's very true, Joe. They always say strong defense up the middle is the key to good team defense. See a swing and a miss there. And that's certainly the case, especially in Division III softball.
Mm-hmm. 2-1 count. And it's 3-1 now.
Dangerous count here, Joe. You can really look to do some damage as the hitter with 3-1, be a little picky on what you're going to offer at. I like this coaching move there by Coach Pfister to give one of her bench pieces a key at bat here. I know you got a 7-0 lead, and of course she barrels one up, but Ashley Haley's right there. But, I mean, that's a great confidence builder, right, if you're able to come through there?
Yeah, and to make that kind of contact, way back when I used to play, just making good contact made me feel good. So certainly a good moment for her. She didn't strike out like her first at bat of the season. So progress there, progress here. We're moving on to the bottom of the 6th. Hornets trail 7-0 on LHSN.
First thing would definitely be make a plan and write it down. And, you know, get with your classmates and put your brains together. One thing about a cohort style group, study group is perfect because we put multiple brains together, you get a really good big brain. It gives us a great balance. It teaches us responsibility. It's never too easy, but we're put in a position where we're going to get better, we're going to learn, and we have to take time to get responsible and do the work. But we also have to learn how to manage our time with clinical rotations as well. But I think everything is well put together, as in the course load and as well as the clinical education. And when you put that together, you make great athletic trainers.
Bottom of the 6th, and the Hornets now trying to start some momentum they can maybe carry into Game 2 today, which is slated to start at 2 p.m. I don't think that's going to happen. It's 1:45, so that's a no from that department. They will take 30 minutes between games at least. So keep that in mind once we finish the broadcast. And, a big quick look over to men's basketball, 75-72 with 38 seconds left. Lynchburg now in the lead. So since we looked at it last, there's been an 8-point swing in favor of the Hornets. Hoping they can hold on for that. They desperately need a good result today, as this ball is caught in right field.
So Addison Walters, the first out of the inning. Now Olivia Herman up. Olivia is 1 for 2 on the day. Had a single in the first inning.
Cheyenne Cox looking for the complete game.
She's pitched a gem, Joe. She's looked really sharp.
8 strikeouts for number 8 in the pitching circle. And certainly better than her first appearance in one of the 2 games against ENH. She gave up 7 runs, 8 hits and also 2 walks and just 3 strikeouts. So nice bounce back for her.
Yeah, I mean, she's had everything working, Joe. Seemed in control the whole game.
Whole game, yeah. It wasn't even a slow roll for her. She was from the very first pitch. She looked in control. Now she is behind in the count, though. 2-1. Of course, I said that about her being in control. Then I look back at the first inning, and Lynchburg did make it through 4 batters with 2 getting on base due to walks. But after that,
yeah, a little bit of a shaky first inning, but able to The caught stealing was huge, and then the strikeout to get out of it, and she really hasn't been in trouble since. Only runner in scoring position since that time was Hugh Gates' double.
Mm-hmm. And that came back in the 3rd inning. Things opened up for Greensboro in the 5th with a 4-run 5th inning, followed by a single run scored in the 6th. And a walk here to put Herman on. That is the first walk for Cox since the 1st inning that we just mentioned.
Yeah, the last Lynchburg Hornet to walk was Carly Cundiff.
And here she is. A single in the 4th inning for the sophomore. 1 out on the big board, so an opportunity maybe to keep herself in the game and move her teammate forward, and she will, thanks to a hit by pitch off the left elbow.
It's one way to get on base, Joe.
Yeah, that'll work. Might not feel as good, but it'll work. And we're going to have a pinch hitter for the Hornets, Caroline Joy from Gainesville, Virginia. Will make her first appearance of 2021. Pinch hitting for Gracie Dooley.
Joy, a little bit of pop in that bat. She, corner infielder, plays a little bit of catcher too when you need her to. Here being asked to come up with a big hit off the bench with 2 runners on.
Herman at second, Cundiff at first, and Caroline Joy up to the plate for the first time. Not her first plate appearance of her Hornets career. She did make 7 at-bats last season. Struck out once, hit by a pitch once. Makes contact, up and out. I think we're a pitch behind on the big board, and I did not see what happened on the first, so apologies there. If Joy just hits it, it won't matter. Well, definitely 2 strikes, so it must be a 1-2 count. Best position the Hornets have had so far today. In on the hands, and Joy will foul that one into the dugout area.
Good fight from the sophomore in here. Wait until she can get something to put a barrel on. Put together a good at-bat so far. Let's see if she can win it.
Quick meeting of the minds for Cox and Deaton. Quickly adjourned and back to business. The 1-2 on the way. And sent up high to center field. That one's going to land fairly in play. Quick throw to third. Will keep the runner at second. And a nice toss from Allison Loy to keep everybody where they were.
Just not quite deep enough. Good at bat by Joy. The right idea. It's not quite enough power behind it. Get the runner over. So 2 away now. Another pinch hitter.
And it'll be 24, Emily Charlton, freshman out of Chesapeake, Virginia.
Charlton pitches as well. Saw her a little bit in the fall in the circle, but she can also handle the bat.
First pitch taken for a strike. Tough spot to come in, especially facing a pitcher that's feeling it so much today.
Certainly.
And you can just feel the confidence with every pitch from Cox. And once again, that one's in there for strike 2. And we finally have a goal in Emory. Lynchburg women's soccer Alyssa D'Amato scores the first goal of the season with about 30 minutes to go in that one, so it's 1-0 Lynchburg over E&H. You can catch the action on live stats or video format at lynchburgsports.com. Here it's a 1-2 count with 2 outs and 2 runners on at second and first. Charlton in her first at bat as a Hornet gets a piece of it and stays alive.
Good 2-strike fight there by the freshman. Also, Joe, across town while we have a break, Lynchburg hanging on to a 3-point lead there with 20 seconds to go at Randolph.
Ooh.
Been a slow final minute of that game.
Yes, it has. Charlton swings through, ball gets away, she'll run to first. And according to the umpire, all is well.
Yeah, missed on just in and out of the glove there for Deaton, and Charlton heads up play. Sometimes you're too demoralized when you strike out to remember you can run to first if it's not caught cleanly. Now are they going to discuss if it was a foul ball?
As of right now, it's a bases loaded situation for the Hornets, their first time in this position.
It should go down as a strikeout and a pass ball, which it will. I guess they're just making sure that she didn't foul it off. Going to have another pinch hitter here, Joe.
And looks like it's number 11, Madison Walker. Just what we needed. Addison and Madison. Walker from Lynchburg. Played for the Bees of Brookville. And she will step up for the first time as a Hornet with bases loaded. Her team trailing 7-0, but really Lynchburg just trying to find some positivity before game 2, which will follow a roughly 30-minute break after the conclusion of this game. First pitch makes contact and caught on the dive for out number 3. Another great play at second base. Kaylee Walker's had a nice day both at the plate and the field, and we've got 1 inning left of action from Moonfield at University of Lynchburg. You're watching NCAA Division III softball on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
First thing would definitely be make a plan and write it down. And, get with your classmates and put your brains together. One thing about a cohort style group, study group is perfect because when you put multiple brains together, you get a really good big brain. It gives us a great balance. It teaches us responsibility. It's never too easy, but we're put in a position where we're going to get better, we're going to learn, and we have to take time to get responsible and do the work. But we also have to learn how to manage our time with clinical rotations as well. But I think everything is well put together, as in the course load and as well as the clinical education. And when you put that together, you make great athletic trainers.
A few changes in the field for the Hornets after those pinch hitters. We've got Bree Hodges, the Roanoke native, out in right field, so Lexi Powell moves to left. And I believe you said Cundiff is at third now,
yeah,
Mark.
Carly Cundiff in at third base. And Sophie Tully back in the game at first. She was pinch hit for last inning.
Angela Sparandeo still in the circle for the Hornets. And the Pride still with a commanding 7-0 lead. Looking for the bounce back after dropping their opening games of the season to Emory and Henry. Def Leppard on the radio. And a final from Rivermont Avenue. Lynchburg men's basketball finds a way to claw their way back and win 82-77 in the last 2 minutes. They took the lead, held on. And we've got Theron Suggs, 18 points. Miles Taylor, new high for the freshman, 16 total points. And T.C. Thacker finally back in double digits in point scoring after a rough first game back from the quarantine period he was under. He did have double-digit rebounds in that game and did so again today. 14 rebounds today, so still right around, should still be having a double-double average. So good news for the men's program as they get set to come back home next week and welcome in the Maroons of Roanoke College. At least that's the plan at this point. We know that certainly things can change between now and then.
Yeah, it seems, Joe, something. I don't want to jinx it, but something's changed every day so far, except for today. So hopefully no more schedule changes on the horizon, as it looks like at least we're hopefully done with winter weather for a little bit.
Yes.
Of course, still facing the gorilla in the room, but we're stalling a little bit here for you folks because there are so many subs that the coaches and umpires are working out of the lineup cards and all that. That happens, especially in softball, a lot of entry, re-entry kind of thing. About 20 minutes to go for Lynchburg women's soccer down at Emory. It's still 1-0 Hornets. Final ODAC clash between those two programs.
Yeah,
Emory and
that's
Henry
right.
moves to Division II.
That's right. Lynchburg baseball just getting underway from Ted Leonard Park in Greensboro. No video link or stats link for that game, so.
Well, GC's got a lot going on today. I understand.
I know they've got a ton of stuff to deal with today, as we all will moving forward, and we promise to bring you some sort of feed throughout the season. It may not be what you're experiencing today. It might be better, it might be worse. But if there's a game to be played on campus that we've traditionally covered in the past, we will have a game to bring you on LHSN at that time. Sparandeo's pitch brought back to her. She knocks it down, throw to first in time. All about the lady in the circle during that at bat. And first out is on the big board.
Nice job by Angela there. Not just to get a glove on it, but also to track down that loose ball and throw it over to first. Sometimes, you can panic a little bit when you don't catch it cleanly. So looks like another lineup change here for Greensboro.
Yeah, I can't read the number from back here. It normally would have been Cheyenne Cox, but she certainly earned a break with the way she's pitched today. I want to say 7. No, it wouldn't be 7.
Heard one on the PA.
I heard one on the PA, yeah, just barely, but we could hear Weaver's voice. Mason Brewer, a junior from Colfax, North Carolina, will pinch hit for Cheyenne Cox. Gets a piece, fouls it away, and 0-2 count against Brewer. This is her 4th at bat of the season. Has a start to her credit this year. Maybe she'll start in game 2 today. 1 for 3 so far on the 2021 season. And now looking at a 1-2 count with 1 out and nobody on.
Boy, Joe, just another local product there. Brewer is. Coach Pfister's really put together a good squad. Girls from about a 45-minute radius at Greensboro. It's kind of wild.
And a strikeout. First one of the day for Sparandeo, and only the 3rd of the afternoon against the Pride. 4th, I beg your pardon. I hadn't wrote it down yet. So 2 outs, top of the order. Kaylee Walker, who's done a great job in the field. She's had a pretty good day. 2 for 4 at the plate. She's got a double to her credit. A run scored. And swinging through that one, all breeze for strike 2. Contact, bounce to Hugate. There's the fundamental throw to first. And it's 3 up, 3 down for the Pride. First time today that's happened. And the Hornets will have one more half inning to get better here in game number 1. Bottom of the 7th coming up on LHSN.
So it's going to be
pinch hitter to start us off in the bottom of the 7th. Got Bree Hodges stepping in for the first time today. She's taking the place of Ashley Haley in the lineup.
I apologize. I'd missed that. Addison Walter moved to second base last half inning as part of those changes, so that's when Haley exited the game.
I saw that too, and I didn't even say it. I was like, oh yeah, Addison's right there. I didn't even recognize that. But recognize this. 0-1, 7-0 lead. Good grounder picked up and tossed over from Walker to first, to Davidson. And the first of 3 outs needed in this one to finish the first game is on the board. Much different than last year's contests at Greensboro. Both of those games went to the Pride, but they were both 4-3 victories. Lynchburg's makeup was a little bit different then too. Although there hasn't been a year probably since 2014 that a Powell hasn't been on the roster. And here's Lexi Powell in her 3rd at bat of the day. Popped up to short, and out number 2 on the board.
Last chance here for Lynchburg, but it's a good chance. Kayla Hugate in top of the order.
Hugate 1 for 3 today. A ground out and a strikeout, in addition to the double back in the 3rd. Cheyenne Cox has pitched a beauty today, holding the Hornets scoreless so far. Just 3 hits given up and 8 strikeouts. Well, I guess 9 with that pass ball. That still counts as a strikeout, right? So 9 strikeouts for Cox. Can she make it 10?
She really has been terrific. I mean, so good that I wouldn't be surprised if they go to her again.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's early in the year. You might want to get a look at some arms, but
Fouled up and out of play behind the Lynchburg dugout. So it's a 1-2 count with 2 outs. Last opportunity to find some positive gains before game number 2, which will begin approximately 30 minutes following the conclusion of this contest, which will be a little bit longer. Great hit by Hugate, split center field and right. Hugate goes to second and will be held up there. So a 2-double day for the fifth-year senior.
Really nice piece of two-strike hitting there for Kayla. Didn't try to do too much with it, just put a good swing on it, found the barrel, and found some outfield grass. That's what you got to do. I know the odds are slim at this point, but that's what you got to do to give your team a chance.
Got to continue to show that fight as well in her position as an old head, if you will. We'll see if the new head can answer with her first hit as a Hornet. Walter swinging through, got a piece, but it's strike one. Walter is 0 for 2 with a walk today. A strikeout and a pop out to right field. 0-1, much slower and missing lower for ball one. Popped up this way, out of play. Walter trying to add something to the highlight reel for the offense. A couple great plays made defensively, including by yours truly.
Really was a nice play, Joe.
Nice changeup, drops in. Surprised that no call, if you will. Called ball. And actually saw Deaton look over to the dugout and say it was just a bit high. So she even agreed that it didn't quite hit in the zone. 2-2. Right back to Cox. Why not? She has dominated this game, and she deserves the final out to be made by her.
Agreed.
That is it for game number one. Real quick, Mark, I know there's a short break between games, but is there anything that you saw that you think Lynchburg can do adjustments-wise, or is it just, all right, one game in, we got the experience we're looking for, let's make it better?
Well, on the pitching side, definitely, Joe, you got to control the strike zone better. 5 walks isn't going to win you many games, so you got some looks at some arms, but you need to have more consistent pitching for sure. Offensively, I mean, it's only 4 hits. The bright spot is that the person you need to get hits at the top of the order, Kayla Hugate, had 2 of them. So she's there. She's going to set the table at the top of the lineup. Now it's just a matter of getting the bats going behind her. Cox's rise ball was tremendous today.
Yeah.
That's where the strikeout total comes from. So, you just got to lay off that. I know we talk about it all the time. You see the best pitcher in the country in Hannah Hall a couple times a year when you play in this conference. So got to have that same approach against a pitcher like Cox as you do against Hannah Hall. And you've seen Lynchburg hitters adjust to that in the past, so wouldn't surprise me at all if there's a different result if Greensboro goes back to that same strategy in the second game. But so far, pretty impressive from the GC pitcher.
Very impressive from the visitors, and they will have some nice positivity heading into the second game. Lynchburg will have some things to change. We will step aside. There will be a different link for the game number 2, so please be sure to find that here on the LHSN YouTube channel, or just go to lynchburgsports.com or to the Greensboro website and find game number 2. You can see the link for that there as well, and we will be back with that game in about 30 minutes or so as these teams cool down, get some food in their bellies, and get ready for game number 2 from Moon Field. Game 1, all Pride, 7-0, the final score. For Mark Robertson, I'm Joe Hutchler. We'll talk to you in a few minutes.